Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an enchanting table statue. This is probably, in my opinion, the best looking item statue that I have ever made. If you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a couple of weird materials. Grab yourself some block of coal and some obsidian. Also grab some nether brick and some block of diamond. You're also going to need some cyan wool, some white wool, and finally grab yourself some red wool. These are all of the materials that we're going to need to make the base of our table, the actual table part of our enchanting table. Later on we're going to have to grab some different materials for the book that is suspended just above it. So once you have every single one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your enchanting table with a row of 16 block of coal in a row on the floor. That's 1, 6, 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Just like that. And once you have your row of 16 block of coal, you then want to come all the way over to the left hand side of your row, take a sideways view of your row like this, and going left of this first initial block that you should have placed, you just want to do a row of 15 coal. So going left, a row of 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Just like that. And once you've done your row of 15, just take a sideways view to your row, so you're looking towards the front of your crafting table, and going left of this row of 15, from this 15th block, just do another row of 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Once you've done that second row of 15, you then just want to take this second 15th block and just connect it all the way back to the front of your crafting table. So in essence, you have just drew a 16 by 16 square on the floor with your coal. Once you've done that, this is what you want to do next. So we now want to take each one of the 4 corners of our crafting table, or our enchanting table I should say, my apologies, 2 different things. Take each one of the 4 corners of our enchanting table, and going up on top of each one of the 4 corners, you want to do this sequence of blocks. So starting with this one, do 7 block of coal, coming up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then do 1 diamond, then do 3 cyan, 1, 2, 3, and you want to have this exact row coming up from each one of the 4 corners of the table. So that's the first corner. Moving on to the second corner, do a row of 7 coal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 1 diamond, then 3 cyan, 1, 2, 3. And again, the third corner, 7 coal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 1 diamond, then 3 cyan, 1, 2, 3. And the final corner now, same thing again, 7 coal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 1 diamond, 3 cyan, 1, 2, 3, to give you 4 pillars of these multi-materialed rows. Once you have this is what you want to do next. So we now want to connect each one of the top blocks of those rows together, and you want to connect it with this row. It doesn't really matter what side of your statue you start this on, each side is identical. However, let's say you're on this side, come all the way over to the left tower that we have here, and going right of this top cyan block, do this sequence of blocks. Going right, do 2 cyan, 1 diamond, 8 nether brick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 1 diamond, then 2 cyan. So just like this. And once you've done that once, you're going to want to go ahead and do that 3 more times. So just coming over to the right here, starting from this left cyan, this top cyan. Again, 2 cyan, 1, 2, 1 diamond, 8 nether brick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 diamond, 2 cyan. Continuing on. 2 cyan, 1 diamond, 8 nether brick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 1 diamond, 2 cyan. Final side. 2 cyan, 1, 2, 1 diamond, 8 nether brick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 diamond, 2 cyan, and you just want to have each one of those top blocks connected together, and what you want to end up with is just the table part of our enchanting table. That is the base of the statue pretty much completed, or at least that's the structure of it. Now we just have to add a couple of details. Alright guys, so once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. Oh, and don't worry about which side of the table that you're on, we've got to do the exact same thing to each one of the 4 sides anyway, so it really doesn't matter where you begin. Whichever side of the table that you're on, come all the way up to the upper left hand corner of that side. Take out your white wool and place a single white wool in the upper left hand corner. Then take out your diamond and place 3 diamond blocks encapsulating that white wool. Once you've done that, place 4 more diamond in these positions, so you kind of want to have formed a really weird looking diamond staircase. Once you've done that to the upper left hand corner, you now want to do the exact same thing to the upper right hand corner. So coming over to this side, we place the white, encapsulate it in diamond, then add 4 more diamond, like this, to again form kind of like a really weird staircase looking shape. Once you've done that, you now want to do this. Take out your nether brick and place a single nether brick coming down from the first block and the 8th block in our row of nether bricks. So that row of 8 nether brick that we have at the top, just have a single block coming down from each end of that row of 8. Then place a row of 6 red wool coming down from the middle 6 blocks of that nether brick. Then do a row of 4 red coming down from the 4 middle blocks in our row of 6 red. Then do a row of 2 red coming down from the 2 middle blocks in our row of 4. Once you've done that, you now want to take out your nether brick, and you just kind of want to place nether brick directly underneath any of the showing red wool, like this, so you kind of form like a triangle shape. An upside down triangle, but a triangle nonetheless. Once you've done that, you now want to take out your block of coal, and you kind of just want to place block of coal underneath every single one of the blocks that you've just placed, so all of the diamond, all of the nether brick, all of whatever's showing, and you kind of just want to end up with this shape right here. It kind of looks like a really weird M shape. Hopefully you guys have managed to see how I've actually came to that conclusion. Pretty easy, or at least I think it is. Once you've done that, on one side of your statue, guess what? We now have the fun of doing the exact same thing on each one of the other 3 sides, so pause this if necessary. Once you've done it once, the second time is a lot easier, so coming over to the second side of the statue now, starting with the upper left hand corner, white in the corner, do the diamond all around it, do the exact same thing in the other corner, white, diamond all around, broken staircase looking shape, take out your nether brick, place a nether brick coming down from each end of your row of 8, then do a row of 6 red coming down from the 6 middle blocks, row of 4 from the 4 middle blocks, row of 2 from the 2 middle blocks. Then place nether brick underneath each one of the showing reds, and then take out your coal and kind of just underline everything with your coal. So you just want to end up with the exact same thing that you've already done one time already, and hopefully by the time that I've finished this, you'll have done it 2 times. Exact same thing. Second side complete. Hopefully you guys find it as easy as I do. I think I'm explaining it well. I hope that you guys are keeping up with this. Once you've done that to the second side, you now want to do the exact same thing to the third side. The third side's easier though, because all you have to do to complete the third side is just look directly over there, just in case you can't remember anything. However, I'm here anyway, so white in the corner, diamond all around it, just like that. Other corner, white, diamond all around it. Nether brick coming down from the end blocks of your row of 8, red all the way in between them, then a row of 4 red coming down from the middle 4 of the 6, then 2 from the middle 2 of the 4, nether brick all the way underneath there, and then just do coal underneath each one of the showing blocks, the diamond and the nether brick. And that should be side number 3 complete. Moving on to side number 4, exact same thing, so white in the corner, diamond all around, white in the other corner, diamond all around, nether brick underneath both ends, red underneath the 6 middle blocks, then 4 red, then 2 red, then nether brick coming down from each one of the reds that are exposed, and then just coal underneath everything, and hopefully you guys aren't too far off of the point that I'm at. I've just completed all of the detail that exists in each one of the 4 sides of our enchanting table, looking pretty nice. And again, hopefully you guys can see how I've managed to reach that. I don't think it's too hard. I'm sure that you guys will have managed to do it as well. So once you have all of the detail completed for each one of the 4 sides of your enchanting table, it's now time for us to move up to the top side. So pause this if necessary if you're still working on any one of those 4 sides. Once you've got those taken care of, come all the way up to the top of your table. So this is what we want to do at the top of our table, and this first bit's actually going to seem a little familiar to you. So pick a corner, any corner, it really doesn't matter which one, honestly. We've got to do the exact same thing to each one of the 4 corners. So starting with whatever corner you choose, place a single white in the corner, like this. Then take out your diamond and pretty much form the exact same shape that you formed on each one of the 4 sides. So you start off with your white, and then you just do a little bit of diamond around it, and then a little bit of diamond around that. And once you've done that to one corner, you want to do the exact same thing to each one of the other 3 corners. So you're just forming the exact same shape that you've already formed 4 times already. So I'm just going to get this taken care of, and then we can move on to the next bit. So just do the exact same thing to each one of the 4 corners. So what you want to end up with is something that should look exactly like this. Once you've done that to each one of the 4 corners at the top of your enchanting table, this is what you want to do next. So now take out your nether brick, and you kind of want to do this, if you guys will be able to see what I'm doing here. You kind of just want to do nether brick all the way around the outside of the diamond shape that you've made, and you want to place the nether brick in such a fashion that it kind of like connects all of the nether brick parts together. So you kind of want to form this shape right here, if you guys can see. You kind of want to form like a big plus shape like that. Once you've done that with your nether brick, and hopefully you guys can see how I've done that, you're just connecting everything together by just going around the diamond shape, the staircase shape. Once you've done that, you now want to take out your red, and you want to do a similar thing. You kind of like want to trace around the inside of the shape that you've just made. You want to trace around the plus shape that you've made. However, once you get to the corner parts of the plus shape that you've made, you don't want them to connect to each other like your nether brick does. You kind of want to leave it exposed like that. You don't want the red to connect to like the weird little corner parts, if you guys can see. And that is exactly the shape that you want to make with your red. Hopefully a little easier to see. Once you've reached this point right here, we now have the fun of doing a lot of mass colouring in. So here's how this is going to work, and I'm not going to do this on recording because it's actually going to take quite a while. So I'm now going to fill in this shape that we have here at the top of our enchanting table with nether brick. I'm going to fill this entire big giant plus shape in with nether brick. I'm then going to fill each one of the 4 sides in completely with obsidian. Everything inside of those 4 sides that is just not coloured in at the moment is just going to be completely filled in with obsidian. I'm going to do that off recording because it's actually going to take quite a while, and I'll be back once I've finished that. So back in just a moment. Alright guys, so as you might be able to tell, I have completely finished filling in our enchanting table, or at least the table portion of our enchanting table. I've filled in each one of the 4 sides in with obsidian, and the top has been completely filled in with nether brick. Once you yourself have reached this point right here in which you've completely finished the table portion of your enchanting table, it's now time for us to move on. Oh, and obviously pause this video if necessary if you're still working on any of that, of course. However, once you have indeed reached this part right here, this is what you want to do next. So completely discard all of the materials that you have right now. You don't need them anymore. Once you've got rid of them, you're now going to want to grab these materials. Grab hardened clay, grab orange stained clay, also grab yellow wool, and finally grab yourself some white wool. Those are the only 4 materials that we're going to need for the book that's just suspended slightly above our enchanting table. So once you have those, you've now got a decision to make. Which side do you want to be the front of your enchanting table? I know we've put this off for a while, but it's now time to decide. This side is going to be the front of my table. So once you've figured that out, once you've figured out which side's the front, come to the front and come all the way up to the top of your table. You want to be on top of the two middle blocks at the top of the front of your table. Once you've located the two middle blocks, you then want to count into the third block. So this is a first set of two, this is a second set of two, and this is the third set of two. On top of these third sets of twos, you just want to do a 2x2 square of whatever material you like. It really doesn't matter. I'm using white just because it's easy to see. Once you've done that, you now want to, once you have your 2x2 square placed on top of like this third set of two blocks just coming in from the front of your table, you then want to place two hardened clay on top of your 2x2 square, like this. You then, once you've got your two hardened clays, coming towards the opposite side of your table, this is going to be the back of your table, so coming this way, you just want to extend these two clays all the way over to the back side of your table, each by 11. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the other one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that is going to be, in total, the length of the book, and that's just the spine of the book that we've made here. So coming to the front of your table again, starting from this left hardened clay, take out your orange stained clay and do this. So starting from this block, do an up left diagonal with your orange clay. Then go left of it by 1. Then do an up left diagonal with your orange clay. Go left of it by 1. Take out your yellow wool and do an up left diagonal. Then go left of that diagonal by 1 with your orange clay. So you want to have formed this shape right here. Once you've formed this shape on the left, you now want to form the exact same shape on the right. So coming to this right hardened clay, you just want to do an upright diagonal with your orange clay like that. Then go right of it by 1. Then do another upright diagonal. Then go right of it by 1. Take out your yellow and do an upright diagonal. Then go right of that diagonal by 1 with your orange. So you want to have formed this shape. These are the front and back pages of the book. Once you've done that, this is what you want to do next. And excuse me for a moment, guys, whilst I make sure that this is correct. Yes, it is. Okay, so you want to take out your orange stained clay, and starting with like these first two sets of two orange that we placed, we just want to take these first two sets of orange and just kind of like extend them all the way over to the other side of our table. So just keeping in line with our original rows of regular hardened clay here, just like extend your orange just to make them the exact same length, like this. Once you've done that to the first two sets of orange, you can now do the exact same thing to the second two sets of orange. So you just want to do the exact same thing to the first two sets of orange and the second two sets of orange. So we're just going to extend each one of those all the way over to the opposite side of the table to give you this shape right here. Now things get a little bit tricky. So where we have these yellows, you now want to take out your hardened clay again, and you kind of just want to like extend from that yellow all the way over to the opposite side of your table with your hardened clay. However you want to do this, if you guys can see what I'm doing here, you kind of want to do the exact same thing that you did with your orange, except you want to use hardened clay, and when you get to the end, you just want to replace the end hardened clay with yellow. If you guys can see how I've done that, I'm sure that you will. There's no, it's not too difficult at all. So once you've done that from your yellow, you now, starting from these two final orange clay, you want to, first of all, you just want to place a single yellow next to these end final oranges, and then you just kind of want to do the exact same thing that you've done already, except you kind of want to do that. You know what, I'm trying to explain things, guys, and I don't think they need explaining. I think it's a lot easier to see what you actually have to do. So this is the book. this is the front of the book and this is looking towards the back of the table. This is the shape that you want to have made. As long as you follow the outside or the outline of the book itself, which I'm pretty sure you guys must have managed to do. I mean, that's a pretty easy part. The rest of it's really easy. I don't know why I'm trying to explain that, guys. It should be fairly obvious to you what you have to do just by looking at it. I mean, obviously, just be careful with the upper parts of each ends of the book. Just make sure that you use the right color in the right place, and I'm sure that you'll have no trouble. Sorry for trying to over-explain that. Sometimes that happens. Once you've got the actual outer part of the book complete, this next part is really easy. So we now want to take out our white wool and we want to do this. And I think I'm just going to do this and then show you guys the end result of this. So we're now just adding the pages to the book, and the pages just start one block in to the book in relation to the outer part of the book, like the front and back of the book, and the pages just sit directly on top of the orange and the clay and this and that. So you just want to end up, once you've added all of the necessary amounts of white on top of the book, you just want to end up with something that should look exactly like this. And hopefully you guys can see what I've done there. I'm sure you can, because that's pretty easy. So you just want to end up with something that should look in total, and I'll give you guys a couple of views of this, in total, which should look exactly like this. So this is just like a sideways view from the front, and this is a side view of the book right here. And then we're now pretty much just repeating ourselves. This is it from the back, and this is it from the other side. I think that the most helpful view probably will be this one. And again, once you've figured out the outline of the book where we started with the orange and the clay and the yellow and what have you, I'm pretty sure that the next bit is completely easy for you. So once you've done that, hopefully you will have fully completed the book. And in completing the book part of your statue, you have 100% fully completed the statue. That's it. There is nothing left to it. Once you've done the table and once you've done the book, that's it. There is nothing left to it. All that's left to do is admire what you've done. So this is what your 100% fully completed enchanting table should look like, and it's looking pretty nice if you ask me. I think that this is, like I said at the start of the video, I think that this is definitely my favourite item statue that I have ever made. I really like the bookshelf as well. I don't know why I don't know why I like the bookshelf, but I do. I like the bed. I like some of the other ones that I've done, but I don't know what it is about the enchanting table. I think it's because it's got multiple parts. It's the table, which looks pretty cool by itself, but with the whole book floating, I definitely like this one the most. So hopefully you guys have managed to make this no problem. Hopefully you've managed to follow the tutorial. I know we got a little crazy towards the end there with the book. I was trying to over-explain things. Sometimes that happens, especially with pixel art as well. I try and explain really simple things, and I end up over-explaining them, and usually it just doesn't end up making any sense. So hopefully you guys have managed to make this no problem. Hopefully you guys like this as much as I do. I really love this statue. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.